vlog. We're going to do a reading vlog focused on the Mini DeckofTBRathon game that Becca at Becca Books and Bujo and Chloe at Always Booked are running for this week. So it'll be Monday the 17th through, I think, Sunday the 23rd. And I will link below my TBR that I picked for the game. It's Monday morning. I've already had multiple meetings and it is 11 o'clock. Brain fog happening. One of the prompts that I got was the on the cover prompt, and I can't remember what the one point was. I know 3 points was 2 people on the cover, and then 5 points is a heart on the cover. And so in my TBR video, I said I was going to try Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This is a book that I have on my TBR, physical TBR. It has a heart on the cover right there. Sorry, doing this while holding the camera. And I actually started this last night, and I don't know, I'm not very far into it. And I picked this up last night because I really wanted to read something and needed something just easy, go with the flow. I didn't have to think too hard when I read it, because I've been reading a lot of the nonfiction for the booktube prize, which I'm enjoying the process. It's just a lot of nonfiction all at once. So anyway, I started Wild Love, and right now, and just from the back cover, it's a guy that has always been in love with his best friend's sister, I think, is kind of the trope. And he's a billionaire, sorry. Yeah, I think he's a billionaire, and has just bought this rundown area in his, like, has a house that he redid, and now he's on the barn, working on the barn in their hometown. And right where I stopped, we kind of saw a little bit of the life of the little sister of the best friend, kind of what she's going through, and how, of course, it's going to happen into the story that she comes home to the hometown. So I'm enjoying it so far. It's kind of exactly what I need right now, so I will update later. I am working. I was supposed to go for blood work this morning, but I'm going to do that tomorrow because I already had some meetings, and I like to get out and do that first thing in the morning before the lab gets super busy. So we'll do that tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to work. I'll check in later. All the noises are going on. The dryer's going, the heat is going because it's really cold. But I wanted to let you know, just give you an update. Work was really busy today and a lot of talking. And for an introvert, that wears me completely out. So I made dinner, which is veggies and a beef burger, half of one. Having to go through a little bit of changes with my diet because of chronic illness stuff. So yeah, it's weird. But I wanted to let you know for Mini DeckofTBRathon, I had said that I was going to read this library book for my ace pick, which is a free choice, basically. Vanishing Treasures by Catherine Rundell, which I do need to read for the booktube prize. However, I looked at my holds and my library books that I have out on my library page today, and this one, The Rebels Clinic, that I need to read for the BookTube prize, has no renewals. And I only have it for 2 weeks. And it's a chunker. So this is what we're going to read as my free choice for Mini DeckofTBRathon. I hope to at least get halfway this week, and then halfway, and then finish it off the next week. So this is kind of what I'm going to be reading while I eat. Cause yeah, I've just had too much noise. I need to just chill out for a bit. Good morning. Can't see. I just took my hair down from a ponytail. Can you tell? It's Tuesday morning. I went this morning I had to do lab work, and I went to get my infusion today instead of Friday because I'm just feeling really bad. Just really drained, and so I decided to get an infusion today, and it was really painful. I'm so used to getting needles in my arm now. Just part of having chronic illness. You have a lot of blood taken, and in this situation, I've had infusions every 2 weeks for about 2 or 3 years. Sorry, my hand is shaking. But this was a new nurse. I'm always hesitant with a new nurse. And she was fine. She was kind, but man alive, it was painful. I think some of it is also I'm getting scar tissue on the vein that everybody likes to poke, and I definitely try and get them to do opposite arms, but yeah, anyway. So I am working right now. I have my laptop. And I haven't read much today. So my reading for the Deck of TBR-thon is mostly physical books. The audiobook I'm listening to right now is, what's the title? The Hardy Women. It's a booktube prize book. So I started that, and that's what I listened to when I got my infusion. My infusion takes about 30 minutes, and I just put my earbuds in because it's too difficult to read a physical book when one arm has a needle in it. So yeah, anyway, I'm doing work. I also want to do some things around the house. I just don't know if it's going to happen today because I'm very fatigued, and don't have a lot of standing and doing things is not high on the list today. I would like to film because it is what is today, the 18th, February 18th, and I have not actually did film my February mid-month wrap-up, but I don't know what happened, but it had no sound on it, so I have to redo it, and I haven't redone it yet. So that's something that I might try and do today after I do work. But yeah, I just wanted to check in. Not much reading on the books that are for the TBR-thon have happened. and hopefully I'll get to them. I read a little bit more in the Rebels Clinic last night. It's definitely a book that needs a lot of my attention. Like, I need to be fully awake to read it, because it's basically a history book. And like I said before, from what I understand, I can't tell you anything really about it or my opinion about it. So just know I'm reading it. And at some point, after the BookTube prize is over, I will review the books that I read. So I'm going to read. So I'm going to work, and I'll check in later. Happy Thursday. Had to think about it for a minute. I meant to do a clip this morning, and I got busy with work and forgot. It's lunchtime, and I am out. It is very windy, hence the hair up, the bangs all over the place. Windy and cold. It's about 30 degrees, which I know a lot of people are colder, but it's all relative. I'm just sitting outside the library. I went in to pick up some books. I had 2 holds ready, and then I think in February, the publishers, it's a good publishing month. And there were some, they're not published right now. Like, they've been out for a minute, but I still kind of was interested in them. I get to start thinking about what might be on the prize lists, long lists that are coming out. So 2 of the books that my 2 holds that I picked up, you'll see in my Irish Readathon TBR. That will be coming out probably this week sometime. But I did get A Reason to See You Again by Jamie Attenberg. I've liked some of her fiction, and I've liked her nonfiction, as I hit myself in the head. This is her latest one, so I wanted to try that. This one intrigued me. It's called Big Fan by Alexandra Romanoff, and it's about a woman who is in politics, and her husband has like some big sex scandal, and then she's recovering from that with her career, and a guy from a boy band that she used to love gets in touch with her or something like that. But the synopsis was really complicated for such a little book. This is Hum by Helen Phillips, which I've seen make the rounds. I'm curious about this one. I don't know if, like, I hesitate with robot and technology books because never been a huge fan of it, but Annie Bot was one of my favorite books of last year. Like, it was not on my top 10 list, but it was probably 11th or 12th. So this is about a woman whose job is taken over by AI, and how she basically makes, just to, get a new job. And it's, I think, where she gets like facial reconstruction, so she's not detectable by the face recognition software, I think, is what, I read a bunch of synopses all at once. Yeah, it makes her undetectable to surveillance. So I'm curious about that one as well. And then this one just caught my eye because it's very colorful. This is No Place to Bury the Dead by Karina Sanz-Borgo, translated by Elizabeth Breyer. And this is about a plague that starts in a Latin American country, I think is what it said. And usually if you get me at plague and flees with their family. Yeah, it's got grief in there too. So, all right, I'm gonna go look at an apartment, then I'm gonna get some lunch, and then I'm gonna go back to the house. Hey friends, it is Friday at 5 o'clock, just after 5, and it's been another day of doing a lot of work, reading, and napping. Let's just be real. I can't remember if I updated yesterday, but it was a lot of, oh, I think I did. I think I showed you my library haul. And I didn't get back on after that. So yeah, I did go and look at some apartments, and there are options. There are options, and that's what I need for my anxiety to settle down a bit, is just to know that there's options. So yeah, that's the good news for that. I read last night, I just wanted something easy. So I read Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I'm enjoying it. It is a bit of a cheesy romance, but it's kind of what I need right now. I also am trying to finish The Plan by Kendra Adachi, and it's mainly just sitting down and reading because of doing work and things like that. This was actually due at the library today. Our library system gives you kind of a 10-day grace period, and after that they freeze your account. So they don't charge, but they do freeze your account. Like, you can't put holds or anything on, and that I can't even imagine. Like, what would you do if your library didn't let you put holds? That's just, yeah. Anyway, and then I'm also about 100 pages into The Rebels Clinic by Franz Fanon by Adam Schatz. This is for the BookTube prize. These are kind of my three I'm going to keep working on. I don't know how much more physical reading I'm going to get done this weekend. I need to do some things around the house, so probably will do some audiobook reading. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to support my local bookstore. They're having their inventory sale. I'm only getting one book. Only one. Maybe even not one. I don't know. And then I am going to the S.A. Cosby event, and I will take you with me. Sorry for the car noise, but I need to warm up my car. I'm going to try to go to the S.A. Cosby event. My chronic illness has taken over the day today. I had to deal with cleaning out a closet upstairs today, and it just took more out of me than I expected it to. So, I don't know. I'm gonna go to my bookstore that's having their 50th year celebration and inventory sale. And see where I can go from there. If I'm not feeling great going to that, then I'm not gonna go downtown. So I don't want to go downtown and get kind of stuck there not feeling well. I'd like to stay close to my house. So we'll see. I'm gonna decide after the bookstore. So I want to close out the vlog. As you'll notice, I did not come back and tell you anything after the bookstore because my health just wasn't great yesterday. I did not end up going to the S.A. Cosby event. I was not feeling well. And it's a real bummer but also, thankfully, they did end up streaming it. So I really missed the book signing, which is a real bummer. But I did get to see the actual talk with S.A. Cosby, and I'll link it below if I can find it again. I think I can. He seems like a really funny guy, and just a person who knew he had to write That was just in him. He had to write, and he does know how to write. So I really want to read his debut, which was, well, his first book that came out in a bigger press was Blacktop Wasteland, which I really want to read. That's one of the four of his major works that I haven't read. I think My Darkest Prayer might have been an early work that was re-released. And it's cool because he also talks in the talk picking the audiobook narrator for his books, who is Adam Lazar White. I did not realize he was a soap star. I watched soaps when I was too young to be watching them, just because, you know, what do they call it? Latchkey kids. My mom had to work. And so I would come home from school and, you know, we call mom, tell her we're home. And she says, good, do your homework. And we end up watching TV. That's just how it happened. And the only soap opera that was on that late was General Hospital. I'm sure there were some on other channels, but we just ended up watching General Hospital. So check that out if you want to. But I did go to the bookstore. It was really crowded, which I really like to see in the indie bookstores. I did get 2 books that were on my want list. So I realized that I've bought a few books this month. So not great for my low buy year, but they were 20% off. So we're just gonna go with that. The one of them was A Few Rules for Predicting the Future, an essay by Octavia E. Butler, and the art is by Menzel Bowman. This is a beautiful, beautiful book, the way that they have it all together. And basically it's, she gave this, Octavia E. Butler wrote this essay, and it was in Essence magazine in 2000. And I have not read her Parable of the Sowers trilogy yet. I want to, but from what I've heard, she wrote it a while ago, but it seems to be a lot of it coming true. And how did she know that? So it's really just little snippets. I found the full length essay online, but I really wanted it in this really cool and beautiful artwork. Color schemes. Yeah, I really just liked the way that they had put it together. I also got A Country of Ghosts by Margaret Killjoy. This is part of the Black Dawn series. I have read 2 books in the Black Dawn series by Adrienne Maree Brown, The Grievers and Maroons, and dystopian novels that I didn't realize the trilogy had. Okay, so Adrienne Maree Butler is writing a trilogy. Her 3rd book in her part of the series is coming out in June, which I did pre-order last year. So I will be getting that. But I saw something on a list of dystopian type novels and saw that there were other books in the series that are put out by AK Press. And this is one that sounded most interesting to me. Where's the synopsis? Okay. So Demos Horaki is a Borrellian journalist and a cynical patriot. His muckraking days behind him. But when his newspaper ships him to the front lines of war, he's embedded in the Imperial Army and the reality of colonial expansion is laid bare before him. His adventures take him from villages and homesteads to the great refugee city of Ronapal, built of glass, steel, and stone, all while war rages around him. The empire fights for coal and iron, but the anarchists of Haran fight for their way of life. A Country of Ghosts is a novel of utopia besieged in a tale that challenges every premise of contemporary society. I am really interested in this. This is outside my comfort zone. Grievers, which I first got right after my mom died, and of course the title of it, Grievers, caught my attention. And then it is about a young person dealing with the death of their mother, and kind of their mom is patient zero of this plague that happens, and kind of being left alone in the world as this plague rages around. So it was really interesting. I didn't like Maroons as much, but I still like the series, and I want to read another author that wrote similarly. Okay, and then for DeckofTBRathon, that did not go as planned for me. I think because I've just got other projects that I'm doing, and also work was super busy this week and took a lot of my brain power. So yeah, I did get to Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I didn't finish it. I'm halfway, a little less than halfway. It's okay. It's yeah, it's okay. I just might not be a romance person. I mean, I like Emily Henry, and I would like to find some other authors like Emily Henry that I would enjoy. I don't know. It might be, I don't know. We'll see. But this is fine. It's about Ford, who is a billionaire, basically made some kind of app or something and sold it and made bazillion dollars. And he returns to this town where he would take breaks from boarding school. His dad's famous and would want to get away from everything, so they would go to this really small town for the summer. And on the other side of that is his best friend West, and West's sister Rosie, who they grew up in that town. And Ford has been kind of carrying a torch for Rosie, but he was a real nerd when they were younger, and she was the little sister tag along. Rosie is living in the city and has a boyfriend and a job, and something happens at her job that she is fired and has to kind of take stock of her life, and so she goes home to do that. There is also Ford's daughter, and I'm really enjoying her character. I think her name is Cora, and she is kind of calling the adults on their crap, and I'm really enjoying that. So I will finish this book. It's going well enough to finish, definitely. And then I've also been reading The Rebels Clinic by Adam Schatz. This is for the BookTube prize, so can't tell you anything about that, but yeah, that's just all the reading I've done this week. I've done a little bit more listening to The Hardy Women, which is another BookTube prize book that I can't tell you much about, and that's kind of all that has been going on this week. Let me know in the comments how your week is gone. Did you do Mini DeckofTBRathon? And if you did you find any new favorites? I really enjoy DeckofTBRathon, and so I hope Becca and Chloe will do it again. I know they will. They enjoy it as well. So I hope you're having a great weekend, and I will see you very soon. Bye.